Michael Love, come up.
It's two, Michael Love and a Michael Love Jr.
Oh, really?
Junior and third.
Okay, Michael Love Jr. and Senior, come on up. Who's Junior? And you are? The third. Gentlemen, both of you are charged with evading arrest or detention. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you. Okay.
On February 20th, 2025, officer dispatched the First Baptist Church. A caller stated that a white pickup truck parked behind the Baptist Church and two Hispanic males exited the truck and were walking around the property. The officer arrived on scene and observed one of the ground level windows opened and a window air conditioner unit pushed in on the inside of the building. The officers then observed two Hispanic males exit the doors on the west side of the building. The defendants then turn and look at the officers and then run in the opposite direction for approximately 30 yards to C Street, run an additional 20 yards to First Street, and then turn and run an additional 30 to 40 yards. Due to the circumstances of the incidents indicating this was possible burglary in progress, with fleeing suspects who could have been armed, the officers drew their duty pistol and gave defendant Love Jr. several commands to get on the ground and allow him time to reply. He disregarded the command, so the officer took defendant Love Jr. to the ground. Defendant Love III ran around the building and then subsequently followed commands to lay on the ground. They were both detained. Defendant Love Jr. stated that they panicked, so they ran. The officer stated, "You looked right at me and knew I was a cop, but you still ran," to which the defendant stated, "I know, bro, it wasn't the right thing to do, sir."
Your Honor.
They look at the cop and they run.
Yes, sir.
Cops never tell them to stop.
Exactly.
And what are they doing wrong? I guess, I mean, what is this, Minority Report? You know what I mean?
I don't have anything additional to say.
Guys, be careful. You know what I mean? How old are you, sir?
18.
You gotta be careful, man. When you start racking up convictions, life doesn't get easier, man. It gets so much more difficult. And the more convictions you rack up, you're only 18, man. Life doesn't get easier. You get bigger, fatter, you lose hair. It doesn't get easier. And the more convictions you get, the worse you make life. Life is all about money. And if you have money, then life is great. And you only get it with one thing. This or this. Hard work or knowledge. Going around picking up cases, that's not the right way. Don't pollute. Do you understand?
Sir.
I'm going to find no probable cause on both of your cases.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Take a seat. This is Jones.
William Jones.
We're here because Mr. Jones doesn't have his interlock that he was required to, and he's been in lockout for quite some time,
Correct.
which is unacceptable. Right? If you're in rehab, we have to know, and there are certain measures that we can take, but just if you don't tell us anything and you're just in lockout, that's a problem. I have a real big problem, and I don't know you. Everybody tells me it's little raindrops and gumdrops and little bunnies jumping in the woods, but how the hell do I know? So he's telling me that you've been in a rehab in Ohio.
Sir,
When?
the last setting that we were here, the prior
Okay.
setting to this judge, he got on a plane from the courtroom and went off to Ohio. And I actually forwarded the court his admission pay for it to that facility in Ohio.
What was the date of release from that program?
It was last Friday. I spent 8 days in the hospital detoxing, and then the rest of the time in the rehab. And, I'm trying to put together a forward plan. I'm not supposed to be talking too much, but to take aftercare and go back to another rehab here locally and work on getting better. And I'm being proactive with that, Your Honor.
He's had to change insurance.
That's all we ask, because the problem is that some people can, and some people can't,
Sure.
Addiction, it's a lifelong, and it's a persistent monkey that's on your back that will never let go. It will constantly grab at you. So if you're not proactive about it, that's when it grabs you by the boo-boo, and it just doesn't go well.
Yes, sir.
I just need to make sure that you're not using, number one. Number two, most importantly, that my public is safe, because I certainly don't want you in a car unless, everyone is protected. And the way we know that is that you don't have alcohol on board. So what I'm going to do now, because you've been so AWOL with regard to this, I'm now putting a monitor on your ankle so I know that you're not consuming. If it goes in lockout again, I will put you in jail. I want you to know that. I'm not going to do this again with you. Do you understand? You've been in lockout for a significant amount of time, and it's not fair, because I normally would put people in jail lickety-split for something like this. Do you understand?
Sure.
I will not play this game with you again. It is your responsibility to charge it on a daily basis. It is your responsibility to know what you are putting in your body, as far as, whether it be mouthwash, hair dye, a tequila lollipop. I've heard it all, and I don't care for excuses. It is your responsibility to know you've got such a great team of lawyers. There's just no excuse.
Sure.
I will waive the fee so that there's no excuse for, well, I can't pay for this. I can't. No. Do you understand?
Your Honor.
What you do on your time is you. As long as I know that you're not using, I'm happy. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I'll be happy once he checks into the medical point. He can alert the DAs, the court. Everybody.
Yeah, I guess we're going to give him the scram device today. Just keep us in the loop as far as, the cases are too terribly old. It's not old. So just keep us in the loop of when he's released. You have to calibrate this thing on, I think it's monthly. So make sure that you calibrate this thing like it's supposed to. They have to download it. You've got to charge it. So make sure you know of everything you can and can't do. You understand, Mr. Jones?
Yes, sir.
If I have you come up here on another violation, it's probably not going to go well, just so you know. Okay? Okay, guys.
Understood. Thank you.
Can he be released from the jury box? Just take a seat.
Coming up, Mr. Lopez.
As the judge reviews a rap sheet stretching back more than a decade: kidnapping, aggravated assault, multiple terroristic threats, he issues a blunt reality check. One more serious felony could mean 25 years to life under Texas habitual offender laws. This is the justice system's way of saying the next mistake won't bring another short jail stint. It could bring a decades-long sentence.
Yet another terroristic threat. Let's go through your criminal history, Mr. Lopez. 2012, burglary habitation. 15, assault, bodily injury. 15, criminal mischief. 20, criminal mischief. 16, criminal mischief. 17, suspended license. 18, interference with emergency request for assistance. 22, kidnapping. 24, aggravated assault of a family member. Terroristic threat, evading arrest, terroristic threat, and now another terroristic threat. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. Please.
On February 25th, 2025, officers were dispatched to a residence at 2715 Owen Cross Drive in Harris County, Texas. The complainant stated that in the first week of February, the defendant snuck into the residence via the garage door, and that she had been telling the defendant that he does not live at the residence and has to leave the location, but the defendant refuses to leave. The complainant, who's the mom, has been saying with the complainant to the daughter, or the complainant one's daughter, the defendant's sister, at a different location because they fear the defendant. On 2/25, the daughter came to the location to retrieve the dog. The complainants had a verbal altercation about the dog being missing and the defendant wanting money from them. The defendant then threatened to harm both complainants, saying, "I'm going to beat the shit out of y'all. All y'all do is send me to jail. I'm going to beat y'all's ass up. I'm going to beat you up." The complainants advised that they are fearful for their lives due to the defendant's threats and his history of violence.
So we do have a history of violence where there are threats and aggravated assault against
Yes, Your Honor.
this family.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Lopez, they are terrified of you. The thing that you also need to consider is that you are a true habitual. So if you pick up a very serious felony, you could be very well looking at 25 to life. You know what I mean? 25 to life. You pick up a serious case. These are the things that you need to think about when they're out there in the free world. Do you understand?
Sir.
I don't want you going within 1,000 feet of where they live or where they work. You will get a GPS monitor if you are able to bond out. I don't know. At this point, you have not made bond, so I don't know if you're going to get out. But if you do, you must have a monitor on you, and I don't want you to go anywhere near where they live, where they work, where they breathe, where they put their head down, and you're not to be in possession of any weapons. Do you understand?
Yes, I do.
You know, I would venture a guess that probably 98% of the people that are in Harris County Jail, and I don't know if I've told you this before, but are there because they have absolutely no self-control. They get upset and they wig out without thinking, if I say this, what's going to happen? If I do this, what's going to happen? This is what you should be thinking about every time you're out there. Do you understand? It's not hard. Really. You're also not to consume alcohol or illegal drugs, and I'm going to randomly test you. So counsel, at this point, he's not made bond. We can just set you out for a couple weeks, wait for the evidence to come in. If he does get out, he needs to be here the next business day for all the conditions. And then I definitely want a GPS prior to release.
Understood, Your Honor.
Okay? Self-control. Okay, thanks.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, thank you. Good morning, Mr. Johnson.
Good morning.
Mr. Johnson, you're charged with terroristic threat of a family or a household member. That kicks it up to a Class A misdemeanor, so you're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. You've worked out an agreement where they're offering you 150 days in jail with credit for the 53 days that you've done. You give up a lot of rights by entering into this agreement. You give up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization under federal law. You give up the right to appeal. Once you accept this agreement, you can never change this or undo this. Is this what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
The day closes with a quieter but telling moment. Another defendant calmly accepts a 150-day plea deal for a terroristic threat, giving up his right to trial and appeal. After a morning of warnings about addiction, violence, and repeat crime, the judge's final act underscores a simple truth. In this courtroom, choices have consequences, and every signature on a plea is a turning point in someone's life.
Sir.
How do you plead to the offense, sir?
Guilty.
I'm going to find you guilty and we'll follow the agreement, send you to 150 credit for the 53 days that you've done. Good luck to you, sir. Thank you.